are ready and on.
6 o'clock. All right. We good?
Yeah, I got 5:59, but it's close enough, right?
6:01.
Boom.
Okay.
Very positive.
I'm left-handed, Like to call the regular Marquette County Board of Commissioners meeting to order. It's Tuesday, September 2nd, 6 p.m. Bob, would you be kind enough to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for that. Roll call, please, Linda.
Commissioner DePietro.
Commissioner DePietro is absent, yes.
Commissioner Adamini.
Here.
Commissioner Lalone. Here. Commissioner Alholm.
Here.
Commissioner Nordine.
Here.
Chairperson DeRosa.
Here. Approval of tonight's agenda.
Do we have an addition on Sheriff Department stats that were?
Oh, yes.
I would move to approve the agenda with that addition under, let me see, 8C.
8C, under Sheriff Larson.
Motion. Second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Alholm, support by Commissioner Lalone. Any further questions or comments on the agenda? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda approved. Approval of the following minutes. Regular meeting held on August 19th, 2025.
I'd move approval of the minutes as presented.
Motion by Vice Chair Nordine,
Second.
support by Commissioner Lalone. Any questions or comments on the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Minutes approved. There's no proclamations, presentations, or awards. Public comment. Public comment.
I'm here to tell you everything you want to know about solid waste. I know you're thrilled. I haven't been here for this meeting for a while because the June 19th meeting was canceled because we didn't have a quorum. We had 21 members and we didn't have enough people there. So we turned around and went home, which was too bad. It was a drive for Escanaba, so that was kind of a pain. On July 17th, we did an input session for a survey. I think I might have mentioned it before, that the Central UP Materials Management Planning Committee wants to send out. It will be for users, like the residents, municipalities, and haulers. 3 different surveys, and they expect to try to get it out in the next month or so. So we will be finalizing that at our meeting next Thursday. We also have some issues, as you can tell by the June 19th meeting, that people were appointed in various counties and not showing up to the meetings. So that meant, that's the second or third time maybe. One was a snowstorm. 2 times we didn't have a quorum and got sent home. So Ryan Carrig is the QPAD director for this materials management, and he's suggesting that some of the counties jiggle. Now we're okay, but some of the other counties, you're allowed to have 1 or 2 municipal electees and business that might do solid waste business in that county, and then you have at large, and you can just pick like anybody in your county to go. So we're all set, but some of the other counties don't have that. They don't have all their seats filled. So he's going to suggest to them that maybe they switch, you know, like if you have 2 or 3 in this county, maybe you have 3 or 4 in this county if they can't get help. So getting that, I mention this because it's been so hard for us to get any work done between the snow days, he's losing 2 meetings, and people not showing up. There are 3 people that have not shown up for any of the meetings, so I suggested to Ryan afterward, can we just get rid of them and fill the seats?
Lynn, if I may, just interrupt for one second, is the time an issue?
I asked them that too.
Because-
it's at 3 o'clock in Escanaba, and some of them are coming from a different time zone, so they don't want it any later or earlier. So, I'm not sure what the deal is.
Is it hours in Escanaba?
The only time it was here was when we met at the landfill, which was a couple, 3 months ago. But yeah, it's in Escanaba.
You know, if that's gonna be an Upper Peninsula, it should be on a round-robin schedule, right, with respect to everybody's travel.
And I might suggest that too, and the funny thing is, there are at least 5 that come from Marquette County, and the rest have like 1 or 2, maybe 3.
How
So-
close were you to a quorum?
We have to have 1 more than half, and there are 23 seats, 21
It's too many.
active members, and 3 not showing up regularly. So we have to have.
And you have to follow the Open Meetings Act?
Yes,
Okay. We
And
have the
monthly-
same issue with QPAD.
yeah.
The last meeting, we broke down because we thought there was a quorum, and there wasn't. We were 4
Ryan's-
short.
Ryan's gotten really good about letting everybody know ahead of time, and even then, he was asking, you know, who's gonna show up and who isn't. And we had 10 people not notify him 2 months ago that they weren't coming. We could have canceled it or changed the date or something else, so it's a big, we're not getting anything done.
Right.
So the next paragraph I have is what we did. Mike Standard is the director at the Solid Waste Authority, so he's one of the people that comes to the meeting. And I corralled him and Ryan after the meeting, and I said, we gotta fix this, this is kind of crazy. So Ryan suggested that he would contact the counties and find out if they could jiggle the seats a little bit. You know, if you have 2 businesses and you only have 1 person showing up, how about if, you know, this county has 3 businesses or whatever. So hopefully he'll have something this time, so that might help. And then I said, the discussion was, well, let me back up. One of the county's representatives, and I don't even know which one, if it was Dickinson, I'm not sure, has a representative of I guess they're an incinerator company, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to misspeak. They're called Penwin. Maybe you guys know who that is. I'd never heard of them. But anyway, one of the county appointments was a representative for that company. And they're an incinerator company, I understand, and they want to use rail in the county to get all the solid waste to somewhere or to this incinerator, wherever this is. And the woman who represents them is very passionate about her job, but she's taken up 2 meetings to try to convince the committee that we need to do everything by rail. And of course, Mike Standard says, well, we don't even have any tracks near us. If anybody wants to bring it to Sands, how would that work? And she says, well, you'd have to take it from this truck to this truck to this truck. And he's going, I don't think so. Nobody's got that kind of money to be able to support something like that. So anyway, she's taken up quite a bit of time in the last 2 meetings again, so we haven't really talked about enough. Let's see what else. Then this last meeting, which was August 21st, she talked again. She had 3 or 4 pages that she read and how important this was. So the committee kind of just said, okay, we're not interested in this. If we do think this is viable, we'll contact you. So I'm not sure if she's going to stay on the board or what, but that messes up the form again. So the last thing I want to bring up real quick is the Urban Cooperation Act. You might have remembered or heard or saw on TV that the chair of the Solid Waste Authority is recommending, or asking, I should say, it came out as a recommendation letter, but it's actually a suggestion he's making about the county going out for this Urban Cooperation Act millage. And I believe they've talked to everybody in the office. Gary Wilmer from the County Township's gotten involved, and he's made phone calls and tried to figure out if this is even feasible. So the idea is that, for the recommendation he's making, is the county would impose a up to $25 fee. It seems like it would have to be an assessment. I think Gary called your office, Linda, and found out that we can't do it as a millage. To every household in the county. Now, there's no count, as far as I understand from Gary, of households. There's properties, but not households. So there's a strike there. The fact that it'd have to be an assessment is kind of another strike. The third strike is, in my mind, this is my strike, is the authority's been saying over and over that they need product. The cardboard is number one, plastic is number two as far as revenue. So their idea was to add this millage, we'll call it, in order to offset the product, which doesn't make any sense to me. So I put another meeting together. Gary wasn't able to come, Gary Wilmer, Darlene wasn't able to come, but Ryan Carried was online, and Mike Stannard, and who else? Me and Jim Nankervis from Ishpeming Township, and the director from Solid Waste, Mike, and the finance director. So we spent almost 2 hours trying to figure out what to do about solid waste.
Yeah.
And how crazy it is. So we've got some ideas. We don't like the Cooperation Act. We don't want to get into that. We don't even want to bring it to you. We don't think it's important or feasible or a good idea. So we're going to try to educate. We have municipalities that have trash pickup, but they don't have recycling, so we're going to try to get a hold of them. We're going to try to figure out what we can do for grants to get more trash cans. And the communities on the west end that don't even have pickup, we're going to see what we can do about getting them to have pickup. Then they can have recycling, get the cards, and educate everybody on how to do this. So try to stay, I know that was long, I'm sorry, but that's like 3 meetings worth. So.
Well, they're kind of long, but it really, this is more informational than it is public comment anyway.
Yeah, I think thank you, Lynn.
But I do have something real quick,
well,
because, because, you know, that whole materials management planning committee is so important, and when I sit here thinking, can we do one of two things? Can we do it virtually? I mean, people are having a hard time going and asking out, why can't we do that?
Because it's a state committee.
And they say you can't do it virtually?
No,
I mean, the state does the committees virtually all the time.
Well, we can participate. I did once during the snowstorm.
But for voting, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, and then can we appoint alternates then? If we're gonna have so many trouble and we have 21 people there, or whatever it is, 23, can we appoint alternates?
The structure of that I said before, when this was being developed, the board is too big.
Yeah.
It's gonna be non-productive. We talked about this, and that young lad from QPAD, this Ryan, was I shouldn't maybe call him a young lad, but I said, those boards are too big, they become non-productive, right? I mean, when you get 23 people in a room, that's hard to.
This is state
Okay.
directed, so that's part of
Thank
the
you,
problem.
yeah,
So,
thank you, Lynn, I appreciate, which, I kind of segued a little bit, it's a public comment, it's not a public question and answer, but thank you for all your hard work.
Just
Yeah.
let me know. But
Yeah.
I want to let you know this, in case any of this came to you.
I think what we'll do is we'll put you on as a privilege item and give us an update to the board.
That'd be
Can-
great.
Yeah,
I
much
make-
better, thank you,
Bill,
Lynn.
Chair, may I make one comment to Bill, or Vice Chair? One of the things she stated is they aren't finding alternates in those other communities. Like they can't get enough, so,
Yeah.
like we have enough for us, but no one else is volunteering their time.
Okay, thank you. Public comment. Public comment. Any other?
I'll just make a brief comment.
Sure.
If I may. I'm Sosha Appensteiner with the Community Foundation of Marquette County. And,
Hey, your name again?
Zosha.
Sosha, thank you.
Appensteiner, the CEO at the Community Foundation of Marquette County. I wanted to just share a couple of things with you. First, wanted to extend a warm invitation to the entire commission to our upcoming annual celebration event tomorrow, which is tomorrow night at NMU at 5 p.m. The Community Foundation, like you, serves the constituents, all of the people in Marquette County. We're a public charity that connects donors with community needs, and tomorrow night is our annual meeting, so if you're interested in the work, looking for ways to work together, I wanted to extend that invitation. And as the second part of my public comment, wanted to also highlight and celebrate the investments that the county has made through the ARPA dollars in community needs that were identified by community members through the master planning process. So issues like education, homelessness, childcare, housing, of course, all of the things that are important to you as county commissioners. We hear from our nonprofit side and the long-term investment in the nonprofit sector in Marquette County as well. And this idea of being able to make those investments maybe pointed in the same direction that help our communities thrive is extremely important. And so just being aware of how much that kind of investment takes and how long it takes to see the outcomes of that kind of investment. Just wanted to recognize that. Thinking back to the master planning process, through the ARPA investments, and hopefully onward as you look at future investments in the future of the communities as well. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your public comment. Public comment. Public comment. One more time, public comment. Do we have any electronic, Adam? No? Okay. We will close the first public comment period. Review of claims and accounts, total expenditures paid via check and EFT transfers for the period of August 15th, 2025 through August 28th, 2025 were $963,924.83, and the biweekly payroll for the period ending August 16th, 2025 was $882,078.48. Your pleasure, board.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Lalonde and support by Commissioner Adamini.
Yes.
Any questions or comments on the bills?
Nope.
Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Cammy, pay the bills. No public hearing. Privilege comment. Christopher, you have the floor, sir. Welcome.
Awesome.
You're back.
I'm back.
Good to see you back.
all again. Happy September.
Yeah.
Right into backyard fire season, so I'm excited for that. It's s'more season. It wasn't in your official packet because I was too much of a perfectionist and it came the day after I think your packet went out, but a final child care report for the grant that the county approved to the LSCP and our coalition of partners around the child care work a number of years ago. So this was the last component of the grant. So I wanted to just bring it to your attention and maybe point out some of the highlights, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have as well. But we are really happy to have closed out the grants and moved on to other things as well, but leaving a really strong legacy for the money that the county invested in this work. So the grant, as you may recall, initially was dedicated to standing up a program called Child Care Spark. I talked about it in some of my other updates. It helps create home-based child care businesses. Ultimately, we were able to start 7 home-based child care businesses all across the county. You'll actually see the map, so they weren't just in the city of Marquette. As a matter of fact, most of them weren't. They were actually outside of the city in other areas of the county, which we're really proud of. And then we discovered about a year ago that as the participation in that program kind of leveled off, which is a common issue with a number of the similar programs that we've seen across the state, that we had other ways to invest the money to support existing child care businesses. So the county signed an amendment to our agreement allowing us to dedicate those funds to a direct grant program to support existing child care businesses and expanding their capacity and their own efficiency so they could offer greater child care across the county as well. So the last $22,000 roughly of the grant went towards that program as well. That went to 5 child care businesses, all across the county. There were 8 that ultimately applied. It was a really tight turnaround, just so we were trying to get those numbers right. We didn't want to ask for another extension, so we were like, let's get this done. So we launched that program in April of this year and closed it out on June 30th. So extremely quick turnaround. Really proud of the work that did as well, that invested in technology upgrades and it invested in infant infant care in some of those providers, so we actually saw more cribs being purchased. Infant childcare is certainly the biggest challenge in terms of providing childcare, not only in Marquette County, but really across the entire state, because you have to have a lower ratio of staff to infants, and that actually makes it not nearly as financially feasible for childcare providers to provide. So being able to work on some of that was really important to us. And then the report also talks about just the overall legacy. So Spark continues as a program. The county's investment in it has ended, but we made sure it was a sustainable program going forward. So we now have private sector businesses that are able to buy into that program if they so choose to help their employees or their employees' significant others start home-based childcare businesses to address their specific childcare needs. We are also supporting the program through statewide funds that have been allocated to the LSCP to operate the UP Child Care Coalition, which is certainly a position that we wouldn't be in at the LSCP if it wasn't for the county's investment in this child care work over the last several years. But also, Zosha, I know was here, she already spoke. Zosha was one of the coalition members. We also had 4C of the UP, which is a great start to quality, Marquette Alger Regional Educational Services Agency, as well as key partners in making sure that Spark was successful. So, well, we're the ones that signed the grant. We're certainly not the ones that deserve all the credit. The county deserves the credit for investing in this work. Our partners deserve the credit for making this work happen as well. So we're really just pleased to be trusted with the funds to implement the grants, and we wanted to provide this report to you in the full interest of transparency and accountability. And with that, I'll stop unless you have questions.
No, keep up the good work. We appreciate the transparency. That's a wonderful thing. The public likes to know where the money's being spent, for sure.
We like it too.
Yes. Board, do you have any questions for?
No?
No?
All right.
Christopher, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You bet. Next up, Director Pathways.
I'm up next, okay.
Yes. Welcome, Matt.
We need to come up here and then invite, no, I'm not next. So, yes, good evening, everybody, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. As Commissioner Grosha said, my name is Matt Maskard. I'm the CEO of Pathways Community Mental Health. We provide mental health services to individuals with serious, individuals in Alger, Delta, Luce, and Marquette counties. Our primary populations are adults with serious mental illnesses, children with serious emotional disturbances, and adults and children with intellectual and developmental disabilities. I'm here today to ask for your support in opposing the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services plan to bid out the state's prepaid inpatient health plan contract. The proposal will fundamentally change how Michigan's public mental health system is managed. For the last 60 years or so, counties in Michigan have helped guide and oversee the public mental health system, a role that was established when people transitioned out of the state psychiatric hospitals and into the community world back in the 1970s and 1980s. At the time, the state established counties' responsibilities to lead efforts to support people transitioning into those communities and duly codified that in the Michigan Mental Health Code. Under this law, counties are granted the authority to appoint community mental health board members and to ensure that the residents have full access of mental health services. If you recall from my presentation back in May to the Commission, community mental health providers like Pathways are the frontline providers and is the designated safety net agency for Michigan mental health service systems. Prepaid inpatient health plans were formed in Michigan in the late 1990s or so as part of the state's move to a managed care model for Michigan Medicaid behavioral health services. PHPs were created by the CMHs and to act as regional coordinators to ensure funding, compliance, and statewide priorities were met. The relationship is really the backbone of the Michigan mental health system. On August 8th, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services released a competitive procurement request for a proposal for the prepaid inpatient health plans contract. While MDHHS asserts that the progress will improve access, increase choice, and maintain the community mental health providers, close examination raises significant concerns to that. And there are three main serious concerns for both community mental health providers as well as the county. They are loss of local governance, risk to public safety net, and then like everything, there's always a financial component with that as well. First, the loss of local controls. The PIHPs were created, again, by the CMHs to pool risk, to centralize administration, and to meet federal managed care requirements. The RFP is designed to favor large, private nonprofit health plans and exclude the current public PIHPs here in the UP, that would be North Care Network, and that have been effectively managing the Michigan Specialty Behavioral Health services for years. These PIHPs are governed locally and accountable to the county elected officials and are barred from applying for the current form. So what that means is you appoint the board members to the Pathways Board. There's 6 from Marquette, 4 from Escanaba, 1 from Alger, and 1 from Luce. You appoint them. We appoint, they're in turn appointed to the North Care Network. So again, you've got a hand in the management of this PIHP. But what this does is this private nonprofit organizations that the state wants to migrate to. There are names like Blue Cross Blue Shield, Priority Health, McLaren Health, and others. So these are big organizations that are located far away from here in Marquette or anywhere in the UP for that matter. So there'd be a loss of local control. Like I said, number 2 was a serious risk of the public safety net. The Michigan Constitution makes the state the ultimate public safety net, particular for individuals with serious emotional disturbances and mental health issues. It requires the state to provide programs and services, psychiatric hospitals, and other services to protect the health, welfare, and the rights of those residents. Counties and the community mental health agencies carry out that constitutional duty on the ground, ensuring that care is accessible, accountable, and tailored to the local needs. Shifting management to a distant private entity would weaken that safety net and remove the direct oversight and local accountability that the Constitution envisions. Under the procurement plan, there is no requirement for this new entity to contract with community mental health at all. So as the MDHHS stated, that they won't go away, there's no requirement for them to contract with us at all. That pushes the additional competition into our areas, and competing providers will further separate that safety net and fracture it, leading to potential problems, and it's unaccountable to anybody. The counties will ultimately still be responsible for the safety net of those residents, again, because of the mental health code and because of the Constitution, but stripped away the ability to direct how those services are delivered. In some of the conversations I've had with my peers throughout the state, there's 46 community mental healths across the state, and we've had these conversations, as you can imagine, quite a bit lately. And the one example that does come up quite a bit, and I thought it would be relevant to you and it would be help to frame this, because I know it's a very complicated topic. Would the county ever agree to privatizing the county sheriff's office? Meaning, would you put somebody in between you and the county that would be directing and saying, well, you know what, road patrol really isn't important, and other services are. Maybe some services that are really inexpensive and that work in urban areas, but wouldn't necessarily work in the largest county in Michigan. And you'd still have you lose all of that authority while still holding all the accountability, because individuals like you have here today would come to you and say, why are you not doing road patrol? And you say, I have no control over that, because it would be a third party that would be in between. Does that make sense? Okay. Mm-hmm. There are, closer to home, there are services that we do deliver every day. Jail diversion is a really good one. The program redirects people with mental illnesses away from jails and into appropriate treatment. The one I spotlight quite a bit, and it's kind of behind the scenes, is our assertive community treatment program here in Marquette. This is a program that's been nicknamed Hospital Without Walls. We go and meet with these individuals on a daily basis in their homes and make sure that they're taking their meds, make sure that their services are everything they need to keep them out of state institutions where they're really, really expensive, keep them out of the community hospital beds, and keep them, specifically for you guys, out of your jails. The other one that's kind of behind the scenes that doesn't get a lot of press is the Michigan Mental Health Code assigns community mental health to the responsibility to oversee and manage the individuals who are under court-ordered mental health treatment. Essentially, the CMH is the court's partner in enforcing and overseeing treatment orders, ensuring that people stay on services the judge has required. Those are vital services that, depending on how this would shake out, would be something that we wouldn't necessarily have to do, and I'll get into that in the funding concerns here in a second. So the funding is the last leg of this three-part problem, and part of that is the fee-for-service. So fee-for-service, the model would be changed to a fee-for-service model, requiring you to get authorization before we do anything, and being able to forcing the community mental health providers to look at only those areas that we get some type of compensation for, because we've got to stay solvent to be able to manage this. It would inevitably turn into focusing on volume over outcomes. So because we're focusing on volume, services and billable services become priority, better outcomes become less priority, and we know where that leads to with the community. It also changes the overhead. The current community mental health system with the PIHPs have a 2% overhead. So that means that the 2% overhead in the PIHPs, those are the organizations that fund us, have an 2% overhead. We move that over to a private nonprofit like Blue Cross Blue Shield, Meridian, and the others I mentioned. That goes up to a 15% overhead. It takes $500 million out of our system. It just goes to overhead. Most importantly, and kind of potentially hard to grasp, but I'll try my best here, is the elimination of the risk reserve. Right now, with the current structure, North Care Network, they receive all of the Medicaid dollars, about $100 million or so, let's say, and that distributes it down. We get a percentage. We get about 40-point-something% as it comes out, and then the rest of the percentage goes to the other 4 community mental health and the EDP. If, let's say, one of those providers are in a deficit at the end of the fiscal year, and we're at a surplus, that money goes and kind of balances everything out. It's a risk pool. If all of us are underwater and all of us are in deficit, North Care can then go back to their risk reserves and provide that funding to make us all whole, to bring us back into fiscally sound. Under this new model, that strips all of that away. We are a provider out there. If we come in at a deficit and we turn out to not be able to make ends meet by the end of the fiscal year, we close. There are ramifications for that for the county. The county is part of the Michigan Mental Health Code, has a couple of different options to fund it, not fund it, and be able to pay some of the percentage of what the Department of Health and Human Services takes over, or to merge, or to disband, and it's at your discretion, but none of those options are free. So, and before I close, and I know I have to touch on the PIHPs currently are subject to Open Meetings Acts and local oversight. As Commissioner Lalonde mentioned and Lynn mentioned earlier, Open Meetings Act is a big deal. It's a big deal to kind of know for transparency and how things are being managed. All of that goes away with a private health plan, which means there's safeguards for knowing how your money is spent wisely goes away. So all of that is to say that it makes it extremely difficult to stay solvent, continue to provide services. And the phrase that's being tossed around quite a bit at the state, especially for the rural areas, is that we end up going into what's called what we've termed a mental health desert. So if we fail, then who is going to be providing services in this area? So, the most important point out of all of this, none of this is very good information, but, and a fun topic to deal with, but as long as the mental health system stays public, it remains accountable to the people. So that means that we have an opportunity for improvement, and advocates can go to the county commissions like this one and push for improvement of local programs or state policy. That process belongs to the people and works as long as the system remains public. Once it is privatized, all those avenues are closed. The public voice will be replaced with corporate influences, where they'll only be heard with the money and will never have enough more money than the health plans have to try to advocate with the state and push legislators around. The public system is designed responsive and change and accountable to the community, and is exactly why it must remain public. They're not as abstract thoughts and risks. They are real threats to the care that people in Marquette County receive at a time when demand is growing and when workforces are stretched and families depend on it the most. The solution is not to privatize. The solution is to strengthen our public mental health system, close the workforce gap, reduce red tape, and invest directly in the services that people depend on. As a county commissioner, you know that better than anyone that local control matters, and counties are the closest to the people of the day-to-day action. You understand their county's unique needs, and you are accountable to your neighbors. To give that up in favor of outsourcing to a one-size-fits-all model would be a disservice to the people you represent. I urge the commission to join counties across Michigan. MAC is one of those organizations, and a growing list of counties. I think we're up to, as of this morning, it was over 30 county commissions had already signed a resolution to oppose the PHP procurement plan, and passing the resolution would send a clear message. I ask for your assistance in passing the opposition.
So thank you for the presentation and the update. Very well informed, well done. You do a great job running that facility, and there's a vast amount of need, as you know, right? I mean, and the undersheriff, he deals with this on a regular basis. You know, the individuals that can't be incarcerated isn't going to help the situation, so we're well aware of that. So what I'd like to see today, so I'm glad you alluded to MAC. Mm-hmm. So I want to two things I want to do. So I want a statement from MAC as to where they stand on this specific issue, and a coalition across Michigan. And I'm glad I think you said 30 have signed on.
30 as of this morning.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a call back from, so we're in the process. And the other piece as well would be the getting on the UPCAP board agenda. And I think maybe we should have you make a presentation. And UPCAP would create a resolution for all the 15 counties in the Upper Peninsula would stand, you know. And so I think we need to have that conversation, have that, and then the impact would be larger, or see what the other 15 counties want to do. So I think that's, I guess, where I'd like to.
Well, I think it's a very complicated issue. So I mean, it was very informative today, but I still look at it. I'm not sure where they're headed or what the suggestions are, and it's still fuzzy to me. So yeah, I'd like to lean on MAC as well. I mean, that's what MAC is for counties to look at and see
what's good for counties.
Well, what's happening, right?
Well, we do have a letter
right here
from MAC provided in our packet.
What's the date on that?
And that is May 15th, so maybe it needs to be
That's where I was, I think it was
An updated one would.
where we're at today.
Yeah.
We're at today.
And there might be something in the email that we just got today on that. But I'm the liaison for the Pathways Board. So my understanding from the meeting I attended where I listened to the discussion on this is, I'm going to try and break it down very simply. Right now, our people that are experiencing a mental health crisis, they call, and it's UPHP, is that correct? It goes to UPHP is all of?
No, if you're having a mental health crisis, you can call you call your local community mental health. No, there's no wrong door. If you're living in Schoolcraft County and you call the Marquette, you would be forwarded over,
Yeah,
but yes.
and they only have to sign up or get on state health insurance right away if they don't have it, and they're in the system.
If they're on state like Medicaid and they read the qualifications for our primary population, then whichever county they reside in, they would have eligibility for.
And that's handled locally.
It's handled locally.
And so if it was privatized, it wouldn't be handled locally, and they'd have to look it up themselves or find someone to help them while they're having a mental health crisis. And they have to sign up every time.
They have to sign up, and it's part of the eligibility versus entitlement. Medicaid is an entitlement program right now, so once you're entitled to that program, you get the services like a fire department. You live in the township, you get the fire department. Your eligibility system, which is what it would turn to, changes to more like a gym membership, where if you're signed up, then you get those services. Now, there's talk of, well, this would create more choice by having different health plans. I don't care who funds my health plan as long as I get my knee replaced. But there'd be multiple potential for multiple health plans. If you're signed up for health plan A, Commissioner, then and health plan B offers different services, then I can't provide that, and we start to fracture the system, and it breaks that safety net.
And they're supposed to make those decisions if themselves during a mental health crisis under this new plan for privatization.
And we have difficulties now with the complexity of our system and maintaining people on Medicaid, I think that this absolutely goes counter to what the department is trying to do.
Okay. Commissioner Alpha.
What's the driving force behind this proposed change?
Well, according to the department, or
whoever proffered this, one of the documents you gave was related to the loss of Medicaid funds. Is that correct, and how important is that?
Well,
what other items are causing the problem?
The department claims that it would provide more choice, more availability to services. And that's neither of those are options that where it actually results in anything. What they were doing is creating more confusion, more fracturing, and behind the scenes, they're also removing local control and making the system more unstable.
Yeah.
I have read your documents, but my question was more on what does the challenges facing Medicaid have to this proposed change, if any?
The challenges facing Medicaid.
Well, it says one of the driving forces was loss of lowering of Medicaid funding.
Oh, okay. So there's always the lowering of Medicaid, the big beautiful bill that was passed by the federal government. That's looking at changing and reducing well over a couple $2 billion out of Medicaid. This morning we were just talked about over the next 10 years, it was $2.2 billion, 8 years. It was $2.2 billion would come out of the Medicaid into Michigan. Most of that, all of that was come out of behavioral health. And the other areas like the hospitals and weren't as hit as hard as the behavioral health world. I think it's being put out there that this will help. It'll be more cost effective. It will not be cost effective. And what it'll do is it'll pass costs along to say that, okay, well, there'll be a certain amount of cost that potentially comes out of that. At what cost to your jails, to the care of individuals, as well as our hospitals. That's what's not factored in on this. And like I mentioned, 15% overhead every year, which comes out of $500 million, just right off the top before we even start talking about services.
So my understanding too is if one of the individuals are on Medicaid, they have to spend down their assets before they can get services too. Is that correct? Under this new plan? So they have to spend down their assets while they're having a mental health crisis to get help. It sounds like a real winner. I'm being very sarcastic.
Okay. All right, Matt, thank you for your time. I appreciate the update. I think we should look at what MAC is doing overall across Michigan. Certainly follow MAC's recommendation, what's best for counties, and also we'll see what we can do about getting you on the up cap across the 15 counties through the UP.
I'm happy to talk to anybody, anytime, anywhere.
Wonderful. So I know who the chair is on that board, so we'll see if we can't get you on that.
Thought you were the chair.
I am.
Oh.
Are you dealing with a time issue here, and you have asked us to pass a resolution that you provided a form. So do you need a response from us on that resolution at a certain time?
That's a really good point, and thank you for bringing that back up. The RFP process, the bids open up on October 1st. They're planning on awarding that bid as of February. I think it's the early part of February. So ideally, we're trying to get out in front of this as much as possible to create that momentum. Sooner would be better. I understand that your concerns in wanting to talk to MAC, and I wouldn't want to push you into this. So the sooner we can move on it, if a resolution is forthcoming, then it would be great.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the next board meeting,
2 weeks.
in 2 weeks, we will create our own countywide resolution from MAC, and yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
If there's anything else you need, by all means.
Yeah, thank you. Well done. Well done. Very informative.
Thank you.
Although it is confusing, just the same.
Yeah, there's lots to unpack.
I tried to make it as simple as possible.
Lots to unpack. Undersheriff, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you. I'd just like to present our August 2025 stats. What you'll see is a trend of last 3 months here, both the jail and the road patrol activity has kind of increased, and I attribute that to the people enjoying nicer weather. On the jail front, our daily population of our current facility is at 85, which is the same as last month, but where you see is we increased our average inmates boarded out. So we're running last month an average of 85 in our facility and 28 inmates between both Iron and Alger County, which is a 7-person per day increase over the last month. And also a notable increase is we went from 20 homeless to averaging 24 a day in our facility that are saying that they are homeless or not providing an address. Moving to our daily count for the month, just a reminder, every bar represents a day of the month. Now I added an extra line. I hate to get too graphical here, but the red line represents our capacity of our facility, with the blue being how many inmates are in that facility. I've also added now the orange or yellowish orange line. What that represents is what we call safety capacity. It's recommended that you staff a jail at 80% of the capacity of the jail. And what that allows is us to properly classify where people are housed in the jail. For instance, you don't want a first-time person in on a misdemeanor being housed in the same block as someone that's being charged for murder. So there's a classification process, and obviously you don't want to house you can't house males with females, and you also have trans issues as well. So there's a lot going on trying to keep everyone safe within the jail. And so if you have 80 people in an 80-bed jail, it really is difficult to manage that population. And currently, I believe we're at 89 when I left to come over here, 89 in an 80-bed jail with 28 housed out right now. So I'm hoping this is just a summertime trend with this uptick here in the last couple months, but time will tell, I guess. So on the next slide, you'll see also our road patrol activity has been increasing as for calls for service. On the first one and the second one being our more major cases, going from 55 to 66 is what we ran for last. Crashes are also up a little bit from last month, but our civil process has as trend data, the paperwork that we serve. On the next slide, our special operations. This is the first month in a while that we haven't had any structure fires. That 131 hasn't responded to. But once again, as it was reflected in law enforcement, the crashes were up slightly. Our search and rescue also had a busy month. We had 2 searches for missing people here in the Marquette County. Our team also assisted in Elgin County for the missing person that they have there as well. Another quick highlight, our special operations did a great job with the Ore to Shore race, the bike race. A lot of people come into town. It's a lot of people going through rugged territory. Our special operations did fantastic, and it was the first real test of our incident command trailer, which was a dual purpose trailer that we built. It really worked well getting everyone together in that same trailer. On the next slide, we have our front office, our unsung heroes of the sheriff's office, and our gun registrations were down a little bit last month. And someone brought this up to me at the last meeting. Why did those vary so much? And someone made a comment. I think it's when different people have sales, gun sales, whether it be your local providers, which makes a lot of sense. That's something simple. So our warrants and protective orders are kind of fairly stable, along with our sex offenders, and our background requests did go down slightly. So any questions, comments, or concerns?
No? Nice job.
Anybody have any questions for the undersheriff?
The homeless, that's gone up, do you see a trend of that right now? Because I know there is an ordinance here in the city of Marquette.
Yeah, whether that has factored into it or not. Right now, I'm just attributing it to just in general, our activity is increasing. When the activity increases on the law enforcement side, the population of the jail increases. If the population of the jail increases, then that would mean your average your percentage of people that are homeless would increase at raw numbers. My projection. You would think homeless, summertime, I don't know. So there's lots of variables there.
Right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, undersheriff.
Thank you.
Moving right along, 10A, Nagani Service Center renovation recommendation. Good evening, Jerry. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm well, thank you. So we have a request to approve getting the front office renovated. I put a little note in there as kind of why the needs are. I will say that this is a state grant, so there's no county money necessary for this. The state grant we got was for $704,000, needs to be spent by the end of 27, so that's September 27. About $200,000 of this money's already been used to fix a condenser that went down at the health department at the Nagani Service Center. We're hoping we have other projects as well, and we're working with Cammie and Dwayne to get this in. So we'd like an approval to approve A and F.
Okay.
I motion to approve A and F.
Motion by Commissioner Lalonde. Is there support?
I'll support.
Support by the Vice Chair Nordine. Any questions or comments?
I have a question or comment.
Go ahead.
So you went out for bids. How did you bid this out? Where did you go to? Or did you have
Rich Uren did
Rich
it.
Uren did.
This was out, so what he does, we put it on our website. He also goes to the Builders Exchange, so that's out there. I think there's one other avenue, I don't know specifically, but it's in 2 or 3 places, and we do put it on our website as well.
So we have 2 bids here, but did you have some that got nixed because they didn't comply or anything, or is that just, we just had 2 bids?
2 bids.
So this was one from, I think, way back, eh, Jerry? This has been on a schedule for 6 months or so.
And is that, we did have an opening, so there was like a site visit, so people could come and look, and he actually had 3 or 4 people come and look at it, but only 2 bids.
Okay, and normally the engineer or the designer has an estimate of what it's gonna cost, and are we in the ball field? Were these good estimates, good bids?
We did not have an estimate, to my knowledge. I guess the only thing that would lead me to believe that it's good is they came in within $5,000 of each other.
That's a good sign.
So that is probably an estimate, a testament to the fact that the drawings were good and people knew what they were doing, so.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So
we have go ahead.
So in the bids that they gave you, because usually I have something else to look at too, but that their A and F is going to do exactly what you want.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I need.
There's a bid document. It's if you look on the website, it's probably 20, 30 pages of all the specs, the electrical, the HVAC, everything's in there, kind of, yeah, you're selling. I'm not normally doing this. We don't really have a lot of construction projects, but lately we've had a few, so hopefully this will be the last one. We want our parking lot fixed next year.
Okay, thank you, Jerry. So we have a motion on, support on the floor. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Jerry.
Yeah, thank you.
Next up, Another Jerry. the nice recorder upgrade maintenance renewal recommendation. Jerry Hebert. Good to see you, Jerry.
Thank you for having me. In front of you today, we got a proposal to proceed. It's rolled into one bid, but it should be itemized out. So it's a renewing of our maintenance contract for our nice inform, and then also the upgrade that we need to do for our nice inform. Part of the upgrade is because the NPSCS through Motorola is upgrading their 800 system. They're going to a different platform. They're going from the Astro 21 to the Astro New 24, and our current version don't intertwine. So with that, we need to upgrade part of, not our whole system, only part of our system. So I did talk to our CFO. I'm looking at incorporating this into next year's budget for 2026, but this is I mean, in order to proceed, I need this document need to be signed to authorize that we're looking at moving forward with it. Motorola already started their process. They started back in April. They found out they had a problem that once they started doing this, it wasn't, with the rest of the nice inform in the state, it wasn't working. So then they were losing the recordings, weren't matching up. So they stopped the process and they just started it again this fall. So we're on the schedule for beginning of November to have this done. But NICE can't do their part until we get a letter to proceed, or that we're willing to proceed and sign this. So part of it, you're looking at is $26,625 is our normal maintenance contract for 5 years that we do, that we've done since 2014. And then the rest of the bid, which is the $52,218, is for the upgrade of the equipment, the license, training stuff they have to do to integrate. So again, this is only part, we're not upgrading the whole system.
So I have a few questions. The first one was this put out on an RFP?
No, it was not, and the reason why
Okay.
is this is a sole source.
All right,
And
hang
when
on,
you-
yep.
By sole sources, they
the-
have all of it.
The maintenance contract, I've always had questions or issues with these maintenance contracts. What are they actually maintaining?
They're maintaining any of the equipment that goes bad that's related to.
This is new equipment that we're purchasing?
Yeah, this is new equipment first.
So we're purchasing new equipment and there's a
Yes.
5-year maintenance agreement on
Yes,
this, a
which is
warranty
the-
agreement?
Which is the 24/7 if we have anything goes wrong. They also subcontract Motorola does what NICE and they do the Motorola side. They do the Motorola side also. So with this, we got our 24/7 maintenance. Anything that goes wrong, we get updates in between that has to be done.
So this is the company that's done the work since 2014, you said?
Yes.
So is this the same company that lost our data?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, a part of it.
That's all, yep,
Yeah,
okay.
I can explain if you
Yeah,
need some
no, but I
further on
mean,
that.
I'm just curious if it's the same company.
Yeah.
As you may know, be familiar with, we recently had some IT upgrades. I think this is something that we should take a look at. Certainly, it should be, I'm thinking it should be bid out, but those are a couple of concerns I have. Board, anybody have any questions or comments?
Well, I'm not sure if you can bid it out, if it's is it the only place that has it? I guess I need to understand that.
Yeah, so they
First of all, let's start with this, Jerry. I like to bid everything out.
Yes,
So-
and I agree with you.
Yeah.
So, but then sometimes there are reasons you can't.
Or at least
I
put it
hear
out
that,
there.
yeah.
At least put it out
Yeah.
there on the exchange to say, it's been publicly bid, we only have one bidder. I don't know.
So what the issue we have is they have Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, Ohio, Michigan, Florida, and Georgia. So they're the only ones that can sell, maintain, and do NICE within those states. Then they're also the only one that has the ability that they interface with Motorola, which is our recording system that we use for the 800 system. And I think Adam can
So-
explain deeper than I can on the technical level.
So Jerry, we used to
as I understand it, record, our own IT people would copy or do the recording, and we no longer do that. And these people do that? Is that?
I guess I'm not following you. We used to do the recording.
Well, we used to do the backups, right?
We would put the tapes in back when they had the old drives, but when we switched this out into 2014, now gets recorded to a server, which there's a cam, there's a logger, there's multiple pieces of equipment. We also added recently, what am I thinking, a terabyte of network storage for it also separately.
So, what did they do when they lost our data?
In the lines of,
I mean,
Did they try to recover it? What
did we get an explanation as to?
Yeah, we tried recovering. I did send a thing explaining that I sent to Carl, and that explaining that they lost it. What ended up happening was the partition drives that were supposed to be, like I said, I'm just using an example, man, like the H drive was supposed to be one recording, and then ended up rewriting over, say, the C drive recording.
So I'm looking at, if we had a maintenance contract with them, and they lost our data, do we not have any recourse as to? That's where I'm going with this.
I know where you're
I'm a
going
little
with it.
frustrated
It's
with,
lost.
yeah.
They did try to recover it. They were unsuccessful in recording it. So then we ended up getting a letter from them as well, and which I did pass on, which I did speak to Carl about, for any FOIA request that may
Right.
out of that.
Well, I think we've complied with the laws that are
Yes.
out there, so but when that came forward, it was bothersome.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
So this is the only place that does the NICE system, as you're saying?
Yes.
But do we have to do the NICE system? Is there something else? Is there an alternative?
No, I mean, you could look at replacing our whole system, which is gonna probably cost you $200,000, but then it doesn't intertwine with Motorola or a system. You'd have to have separate systems that would be standalones. NICE is the only one that incorporates with the Motorola, with the MPSCS, so it does it all in one place. You could do a standalone, but it's gonna cost you way more money, and you're gonna have to do individual, everything's gonna have to be done individual recording, not in one place.
So can this upgrade be done without a maintenance contract?
Yeah, I mean, the upgrade part could be done, I mean, you could.
I mean, if they're not reliable enough to have our data and we're paying revenue for them to do maintenance, I've lost confidence in this entity, I guess.
How often has that occurred that we've lost recordings?
First time that I'm aware of.
And is this, the maintenance renewal, does that apply to the 24/7 notice? I mean,
Yes,
availability?
yeah, so it's
That's what that is
24/7,
for.
if we have issues with recording not working, or something falls offline, and we need them to help with assist, or figure out why the interface ain't working between, say, the radio traffic versus the 911 traffic, or taxi, it's all incorporated
And that's
together.
all, that's what the maintenance contract.
Yes.
Back to the lost data though, was that human error? How did that happen? Again,
What would you say the best? I mean, I would assume that it was partitioned, that they thought they had it right, that, because there's many workers that work there, it's not just like a small company. And so, my understanding is that I explained that it was to a hard drive.
Yeah, I guess we pay for that service, and the service is not being provided, and there has to be accountability to that, but I guess.
And I feel the chair's frustration that we lost data, so you don't have a lot of confidence in this company. Now we're sole sourcing into the same company, which
And giving them a maintenance contract.
Yeah, gives us a bad taste in our mouth. But I'm not sure what the alternative is. That's why I asked for alternatives. I'm not sure what the alternative is.
What's the timeline? I heard 2026 budget.
Well, yeah,
So do we have time to rebid this out and see what's out there? I mean,
Now if we're gonna meet the, we will stop losing recordings coming out. We won't be able to do any 911 recordings or any radio traffic recordings, that'll all end.
Okay.
When do you have a date for that?
Well, November 4th is when Motorola is gonna be to do the thing, but this has to be in place and done beforehand.
Well, this isn't it's not that it's a lot of money, it's just that I feel what the chair is saying here, that we've lost a little faith in this company and now we're sole sourcing it. It would've been nice to at least advertise it, even if this was the only one that could have bid it, because it was this, you're saying a sole source for NICE, and they're the only ones that do it for the state of Michigan, that's fine. But it would've been nice to at least put it somewhere and say that's what the fact is, rather.
Sure.
I guess if we have to have the upgrade to keep us
I don't know what
active
choice
in
we have.
November, we don't have a whole lot of choice, but I'm certainly not gonna be supportive of the maintenance agreement.
Yeah, but I don't know if you wanna do it without the maintenance agreement, because then what if we really run
But
it?
You don't have it now.
We need the upgrade or we'll start
You're saying-
losing data.
We
don't have it now.
Can you put the, I think what our chair is trying to say is, can we put that out to bid, that part? But we'll do our upgrade, because if we don't, we won't have data
Yeah.
after.
No, I don't think we should do a maintenance contract. If we're gonna upgrade our new equipment, what does it need maintenance for?
But what if
I
something
mean-
goes wrong?
If something goes wrong, we don't have anybody to be able to work on it, that's the issue.
How
What does Adam say
How often
about
do
this?
you
Adam's
use
our
it?
IT guy, what does he say about it?
So a lot of what you're paying for with the maintenance agreement is also software updates and licensing.
But that's separate according to this, right? The upgrade for the equipment
So that's
and the software is the 52,000. That's got nothing to do with the 5-year maintenance renewal.
No, just regular
But there's
license.
other licensings in there too.
Yearly.
This is only part
yeah,
of it.
this is going from a major version to a major version on the new hardware because, yeah, it's the only thing that will interface with both the phones and the radios and touch. But the 5-year maintenance is for ongoing software upgrades and support after that.
Do we need to do a 5-year? Can we do a 1-year
How much is it
and
for
with
that?
discussion?
I can absolutely bring it
company?
back to them, that was just what we've done in the past, so I can absolutely bring back and ask them about the changing, if you want, look at something different for,
Do we know what the warranty is on the new equipment?
off the top of my head, no, I don't.
Okay.
I really don't know, because it's, the equipment comes in, it'll be the standard factory warranty, whatever comes in. I guess I don't have a breakdown of exactly everything, as you see on, you got the same one as I have right to, that shows the licensing and all the individual line breakdowns?
Yeah.
'Cause I know the first one we submitted didn't have it, and I did request back and to give us the one with the breakdown of everything that's being replaced. But there's a lot of costing here that's licensing and stuff like that, which I completely agree, I get that is a lot of money, I think it's a lot of money.
May I? So for this quote here, it says prepaid 4-year extended warranty coverage, total 5 years of warranty. So it seems like you get 1 year of warranty, and then you're prepaying $26,625 for the following 4 years. So you get a total of 5
5 years, yes.
for this.
So we get 1 year right off the cuff.
Right off the cuff,
And 4 more.
and then 4 more.
I don't know, it reminds me of like if you have a warranty in your car and you get mad because they won't fix the air conditioning unit, and so you say, get rid of my warranty, don't have the extended one, and then your powertrain goes bad. I'm like, damn, I wish I had that warranty. So I don't know.
Lines, I'm concerned, and maybe you can clarify it. We have the 1-year warranty, so that means if something collapses, we have the 24/7 service in place with the extended
first year.
warranty.
For the first year,
For
for
the
about,
first year.
yes.
And so the important thing in my mind, well, tell me this, if we don't have the maintenance renewal thing, and we have a need for service, how long is it gonna take to get someone here?
Good question, because again, to work on the equipment, they're the ones that can work on this equipment, it's our equipment, but it's their program and their licensings, that they're the ones that interface with the Motorola. That's the catch that I don't like about this, I get
So
it.
Jerry, and we've been grinding on this for a long time, we're gonna get this off of it, but, so, are you telling me that there's only one company across Michigan or across the states called NICE that interfaces with Motorola like every other county, and what am I missing here?
Yeah. For Michigan, the NICE program that we have, they're the, Word Systems is the company. They're the only ones that are authorized to sell, maintain, just like the Motorola band, and you have, same thing with them, somebody that's authorized to
Is
do the
this
same thing.
specific to the North Cat group?
No.
No? So all the other entities have to use NICE?
Yeah, they're using it if they want to interface with the thing. So Menominee County's info was, in the old system, they just came on to NICE. They got rid of it because they had to have multiple vendors, multiple way to piece everything together. They couldn't get it all in one spot, so they were.
Okay, so this vendor just has everything.
Yes.
So they could be separated and bid out and piecemealed.
Or you could separate it out. I mean, but the thing is like,
Okay,
we're only
that's-
doing half, we're not doing the
Okay.
whole upgrade to all the equipment.
Okay.
We're only upgrading a portion of it. The rest of it is still nice stuff, but we're not doing the whole thing. So it's like going there and replacing your car, you're replacing all the tires, you're not replacing the whole car.
I don't see we have
That's the
much
problem.
choice. so.
Yeah, what?
I hate to
I don't
say
like it, but
I
that's
know,
it.
I get it,
It's
but
fine.
sometimes
Sometimes
you gotta choke that down.
We've had similar discussions about this before.
Yes, we have.
Yeah,
I know.
like we kind of got us, so I am going to move to accept staff's recommendation with the upgrade and the 5-year maintenance renewal totaling $78,843.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Alholm,
I'll support that. I don't think you have a
supported
choice.
by the vice chair.
I'll let you vote no on that. No, you
Yeah,
don't.
thank you.
Okay.
Okay, any further questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
No.
No.
You got 3-2.
3-2, it passes.
There you go.
Motion carried. You bet, thank you. Moving right along.
That was a lot of work over a little bit
It
of.
was a
money.
lot of work over a little bit of money, you bet. Molly, you have the floor.
This is no money.
This is no money, yeah.
Since 2017, we have been working with Gallagher Benefit Services through Western Michigan Health Insurance Pool for health insurance. With that partnership, we are given a seat on their board. That has in the past been held by Scott Urbish. His retirement, we do need to name a new person to take that as well as an alternate. The Human Resource and Risk Manager position is responsible for the oversight of the health plans. So for that, with that, it makes sense that that position would take the board seat. And then as well, Cammie as finance manager would be a good alternate option for that seat as well. So our recommendation is that we would assign the board seat to myself, Human Resources and Risk Manager, and the alternate to Cammie as finance manager.
So that all makes really good sense.
I'll move
Everybody's
I'll
staying
move
in their
to-
wheelhouse, and that's your wheelhouse. Motion by the vice chair.
Second.
Support by Commissioner Lalonde. Any questions or comments?
This is good with our county administrator, since
Yes.
Scott Urbish was the person before that.
We had discussions about this, and I completely.
You have enough to do,
concur.
right?
Completely concur.
Yeah.
Molly is well suited for the
Yeah.
position.
Okay, wonderful. All in
We
favor?
need a roll call to resolution.
Roll call.
Commissioner Nordine,
Yes.
Commissioner Alholm,
Yes.
Commissioner Adamini,
Yes.
Commissioner Lalonde,
Yes.
and Chairperson DeRoche.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Molly.
Well, I thought that was gonna be a short meeting, but I'll tell you what, there were a couple of things.
Public
that need to
comment.
be done.
I feel like we're getting in the weeds. Yeah, getting in the weeds. Public comment. Public comment. One more time. Any public comment? Any electronic, Adam? Any electronic comment? Moving off of public comment. Commissioners' comments. Commissioner Adamini, you can start.
I just think this group is, really going places. It's fun to be in this group.
Commissioner Lalonde.
I attended the Labor Day parade yesterday in Nagani. I didn't see anyone else there.
Thank you for representing us.
Yeah, it was great. I served hot dogs, got to talk to all of our labor unions. It was a great celebration. Everyone was having a really good time. It was a wonderful parade. I heard Escanava's was great, not as great as ours. Sorry, Escanava. Rock had a really good one too. So, I really enjoyed being around everyone.
Good.
No comment.
No comment. Vice Chair.
Just put it on the agenda or not? For next time?
Oh, we
Or
can
not?
put it on the agenda next time.
Should I say something or not? Yeah. All right, so I'd like to bring up I'll tell you the jail, we need a jail update though. So next, in 2 weeks, let's do that. So myself and Commissioner Lalone and Commissioner Alholm and the undersheriff will provide an update to this board. How's that? We need to get going with that jail.
The undersheriff was lobbying for us.
I heard that. He's telling us how he's got, it's 89 people in an 80-bed jail. I heard that. That got my attention. So, no, we need to, we've been dragging our feet on this thing. We need to look at it. I will talk to Dwayne about it. But
Speak for yourself. You, the committee, is in charge of that.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't say we. We, don't
Don't say we,
include all of us.
Oh, no, we've been working.
Okay, all right, all right.
So anyway, I'll bring that up at the next meeting in 2 weeks.
Oh, do we have an exact date?
For what?
The jail committee meeting? Oh, you're talking about the board meeting?
No, I want to bring it up to this
Board
board. Give an
update, a board update.
Yes.
I won't be
before.
here for that.
Oh, you won't be?
What day is that?
16.
2 weeks from today, so whatever that is, yeah, 16. Okay.
Mr. Dure.
No comment, everything's good.
Alex?
Nothing from civil council, thank you.
Nothing from finance today.
Linda? You look like you got a mouthful.
We will be having a November election in Marquette County.
We will?
So we are always happy to serve on the election staff. Yes, your Gwynn Schools is on it.
Is that all?
Howell Schools,
Oh.
Ishpeming Schools,
Only a couple of things.
whole bunch of fun stuff going on in the clerk's office.
All done? Good? Okay. Well, just, we did grind through some of that stuff, went a little long, but it's okay because that's what we're supposed to do, right? We have a fiduciary obligation to the shareholders, the taxpayers that we represent, and that's part of the process of why we do what we do. So, thank you for that discussion, and meeting adjourned.